Berkeley. Really good to have you back with us, Professor. Tell us, how might Iranians respond in the short and long term to the killing of Khamenei, given the deep entrenchment of clerical authority in Iranian politics and indeed the recent anti-government protests that we saw across Iran?
Well, I think in the short term, the Iranian leadership, which is already stepping in, I think that they already have a emergency leadership to take over. The um, uh, plan is for every position within the existing leadership is to have four-tier replacement in case somebody gets killed or is without communication. So I don't expect any stressful fracture to occur in the current leadership. So they're going to respond militarily. They will expand their response in asymmetrical warfare to make the price for the U.S.-Israeli attack so high that the U.S. and possibly less so Israel will begin to reconsider its approach to this open-ended attack or open-ended warfare with Iran. On the long term, I think what we have in here is, again, Israel wants to be the uncontested hegemonic power in the Middle East, and they see Iran as a major impediment. But also we need to notice that some of the Israeli leadership, Ben-Gvir, even members of the Knesset, have said that after they finish with Iran, they actually are also talking about targeting Turkey, targeting Pakistan, and any other country that will stand in their way. So we're not really in the realm of rational political actors in Israel itself, which is ironic because people are focusing on Iran and demonizing Iran and Iranians. But the reality is that literally we have a messianic type of leadership in Israel that believes in greater Israel. They've been speaking about it. And the U.S. ambassador in Israel, Mike Huckabee himself, just about a week ago, he said he does not mind if Israel actually fulfill this greater Israel idea plan that includes Egypt, parts of Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Palestine, Syria, and so on. So that's what we are really looking at. And Netanyahu is driving the policy. So the Iranian response, both on the short term, is to try to reconstitute their leadership and their response, while on the long run, how they are actually going to be contending with an Israel that wants to be the uncontested hegemon in the region and expanding its footprint without any type of challenge whatsoever.
How could the US and Israeli targeting of Iran's leadership affect broader regional perceptions of legitimacy, sovereignty, and external intervention in the Middle East? Because we know, despite those calls for regime change in Iran, Iranians are also opposed to external intervention in their affairs.
Well, I do think if we want to speak about sovereignty in the classical sense, I think sovereignty has completely been violated since the events of post 9/11. The United States have operated without any restraint, attacked and intervened in many countries across the region. We have U.S. using drone attacks without due respect to sovereignty and even the principle of self-determination. We are dealing with a major crisis at this point in the structure and the view of what is international law. International law, as we know it, would actually say not only that the United States and Israel's attack on Iran are illegal, but the constant threats directed at Iran are totally illegal. But we are beyond the framework of international law, considering that Israel has been committing genocide in Gaza. The 5 Scandinavian countries have already declared that if Netanyahu will cross their borders, that they will arrest him based on the ICC and ICJ cases. So that's in terms of speaking about sovereignty and what is the meaning of the sovereignty at this particular time. We are talking about post international law and respect and consideration of sovereignty and nation state ability to preserve and defend the sovereignty. And the Middle East has been an arena where sovereignty has no meaning left, considering both Israel and U.S. operation. Israel, just over the past 3 years, have attacked so many countries in the region, and no one actually speaks or considers the question of sovereignty and the question of violating the sovereignty. Israel wants to have a total free hand of operation to do in Tehran, to do to other countries in the region what it already have done in the Gaza Strip. And I think that's the big question that we need to ask of what are the limits of power? What is the scope of international law? Is international law still applicable? What is the role of the United Nations? Is the United Nations even functioning? Considering both the United States is having unprovoked attack and hostility toward a sovereign state, while it has the veto power, and also simultaneously Russia has been engaging in operations and in an invasion of Ukraine, and it's also have a veto power in the National Security Council or the UN Security Council. So that's the crisis that we are facing, that the rules of the game now is that power determines the outcome, and it's not do as I do, but do as I say. Iran, you can do this or that, but the United States has no limit to what its capacity to undertake violation of sovereignty and nation state borders without any limits whatsoever. And I think that's the real question that we're facing today.